Hey everybody, welcome to our team meeting. It is November. We are in the busiest sales month of the year. So I hope everybody's capitalizing on that. I don't see any guests on so far this evening, so we're going to skip for the sake of time, we're going to skip our guest portion. If we have somebody hop on who's a guest, we can always come back to that.
Pat, do you know who Samsung is? Do we know
Yeah,
who that person?
it's Leslie.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So the new consultant special this month is that I put that in there in case we have any guests on. But we were just talking about that earlier. As Kim mentioned, it's that 6-piece home set. So this is a great month to join. Please feel free to invite guests to our team meeting. We always do a little bit on what the new consultants can get in the beginning of the meeting. All right, so I want to welcome all of our new team members. October, Carrie Anderson, Amanda Zarello, Susan Catanzaro, Lou Pinga, Brett Fain, Kelly Medeiros, Natalie Wagler, Adanike, Okiowo. I really need to figure out how to say her name. Jennifer Reyna, Cherish Walsh, Melissa Bradshaw, David Levin, Paula Nielsen, Lee Heckler. And then for November, we're already sponsoring Fast and Furious in November, and we are almost halfway through the month, so that's great. Nicole Foley, Jaja Howell, Carla Horry, Kristen Cute, and Emily Smith. So welcome everybody and congratulations to all of the sponsoring consultants. Great job, everybody, for linking arms with new folks and sharing this important message and helping them to get started. We have 2 in-person events coming up this week. Megan Berry, we've decided to move hers to in her house because I think she has like 15 people coming. And some of her team members do. I did not get a response from other Massachusetts folks, so we decided it would be nice to have it in her home. If you do want to attend, let me know and we can get you that information. But we've decided to switch that to an in-home event. Jen Pacelli is doing an event down in Tennessee. Jen said that's coming along amazing. And we also have we have Kim Moynihan who's down there as well, who's bringing guests. Jen, how many guests do you think we have? I think we have like 15
So
guests coming at this point.
my count is at 10, and I think Kim said 6, so we're at 16 so
Awesome.
far. We're still going.
Awesome. Still
That's
going.
great.
Amazing job. Very exciting. I can't wait to be down there with you all in Tennessee. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a blast. Super excited about that. So those Eats and Educate events are going fantastic. And we will talk more about what we're going to do for the coming near year for those. If you are not muted, please mute just so we can avoid some background noise. I know sometimes people say they have a hard time hearing when there's background noise. So if you're talking, please come off mute. If you're not talking, please stay on mute. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next slide. Michelle is going to share about Hearts of Hope. So Michelle, can you come off mute and talk a little bit about our philanthropy? Oh, by the way, before we do that, I just want to say, I was sitting down here and I was opening boxes. It's been a crazy hectic week and I haven't even opened all of the deodorant boxes. And Brian walked by and goes, "Oh my gosh, that is so many deodorants." So we've collected over 300 deodorants for the deodorant drive. We're going to put stickers on them, Rhode Island and Mass, Southeast Mass and Western Connecticut consultants. We will be working on a date to go deliver those. So if you want to come with us to deliver, Kim Chartier is working with someone at Gloria Gemma, but I've got just boxes and boxes and boxes of deodorants next to me in our living room. So we'll be working on that this month. So thank you for everybody who donated. We did an amazing job You know, I think my really, really over the top crazy goal was 500. And I think going over 300 was incredible. And corporate was a little nervous that they'd run out of deodorants. So I love that we made corporate nervous with our big, hairy goals. So I'm really excited about how well we did. All right. So I'm going to let Michelle talk a little bit about Hearts of Hope and where we're at and who's donated so far and all of that. So
Well, Hearts of Hope is our philanthropy, and each order you have a chance to, any order you have a chance to donate $1 to it. And it was started by one of our owners, Mary Ulick. Is that her? Yeah, I think I sounded it out right. Her son died.
It's Julick.
Yep. And her son died, and she wanted to do something for the family of the child that has cancer or leukemia. And because, you know, like even to pay their, you know, their electric bill or whatever, bring toys to the kids at Christmas if, you know, the sick child is in the hospital. You know, it's just a lot of great stuff. And we are, as consultants, we have the chance to match each of our orders for the month, $1 for each order. And for July, September, and October, we have Beth at $142 donation. We have Kim at $39. We have Judy at $30. We have Jen Pacelli at $40. We have myself at $18, and Gina at $10, and Megan at $43, which totals $322 so far. And so we're really excited about that, and we really want to give Mary a big check, like around $1,000. That's what our goal is, or more, at the conference next year in August. So keep up the good work, and if you'd like to donate, just I'll put my Venmo in the chat, and you can just call me. I'll put my phone number in there too. And just let me know.
Yeah,
Thanks.
and we'll be announcing who gave what on all the team meetings. Also, please let Michelle know when you Venmo her, let her know which months you're donating for. So, you know, you can donate whatever amount you want. Please don't feel that you have to do any certain amount. What I've done is gone through and matched. So every customer of mine who purchases, I just throw $1 towards Hearts of Hope. So do whatever you'd like and whatever you feel comfortable doing. Even if you want to make it a flat donation per month, whatever works for you. But yeah, we'd love to be able to give Mary next year at conference a big fat check. You know, if you think about somebody who is in a situation where their child is in the hospital and they are dealing with maybe not being able to work that month because their child is having surgeries or what have you. Maybe this is going to pay somebody's rent or utility bills, or it's going to, as Michelle mentioned, help the other kids get presents at Christmas when maybe mom and dad just don't have the bandwidth to go Christmas shopping for the other children in the home. So really important cause. So, all right. Thank you so much for that report, Michelle. I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next slide. Some of you may have heard or seen that we are, this is going to be a new feature for our team meetings. It's going to be called Where Do I Find It? So I feel like I get the question all the time. Where do I find this? Where do I find that? So during our team meeting, we're going to do Where Do I Find It? So you may have seen some new stuff on your sidebar in Circle. So we're going to talk a little bit about what the new stuff is. So Leaders in Action, and I just want to recognize our Leaders in Action. I believe all of them are on the call. Oh, maybe not Megan. Okay. So everybody except for Megan, all of our Leaders in Action are on the call this evening. So I want to thank Jen, Gina, Kim, Megan, and Michelle. I didn't miss anybody, did I? Because I did that kind of spur of the moment. I didn't plan on that, but I wanted to talk about what we talked about at our leader retreat. And one of the things we talked about was systems. Actually, everything we talked about was systems. Our entire time away was spent on systems. For those of you who know me well at all, you know that one of my favorite people to talk to our business about is Eric Worre. He wrote the book GoPro. If you haven't read it, read it. But he feels as though there are 14 or 15 systems every team should have. And a system is something that everybody knows, everybody does, and it works, and it's written down. So one of the systems that we kind of rated our choices for the systems we wanted to work on first. And one of the systems that we wanted to talk about or that we wanted to work on was recruiting. And we don't really have a system for recruiting, right? Like maybe you are doing a basket for nurses and you drop off a basket at somebody's house and they sign on without you even realizing they signed on. That's not a system. But we're excited. We're really excited for Kim and her new consultant. So that's not a system, right? That's not duplicable. That's not something everybody knows and everybody does. So what we're working on for you all for a system for recruiting is this creating a healthy home in 7 days. And so that's going to be a recruiting system. We're going to bring people in. We're going to do prizes. There's going to be a charge for having your guests in there. The guests are going to have a small charge for participating so that they have some skin in the game. And they're going to learn a whole lot about how to change over their home. And then there will be prizes. Well, here's the really cool thing. At the end, they're going to want to change over their whole home. And we're going to talk to them about, listen, you came in here, you wanted to change over your whole home after listening to everything we talked about. I bet you have friends and family who would want to change over their whole home too. So we're going to do this creating a healthy home in 7 days where they come in, they learn all about Pure Haven and why they want to swap and switch over their products. They're going to want everything and they're going to want to tell their friends and family about it. And then we're going to say, you can join our team. And then next time we do this in a week, you're going to be able to come in and you're going to be able to invite your people. So we're just going to keep doing this over and over and over again. So that's going to be our recruiting system. We may get some customers too, but that's how we're going to do it to make it duplicable and so that everybody can take part, because the Eats in Education are really fun and great. And I'd love to do that as part of our local systems, but it's hard to get going on a national basis. So I think doing something virtual like that is going to be really easy for us to get up and running. Wellness Circle is going to stay the same. However, we have this really cool new thing that we figured out on Circle, that you can do cards, and cards are a little bit easier for people to find things in. So we're going to do a whole testimonial sections, a whole testimonial section for Wellness Circle. And that's also going to be for you guys to, if you want to, let's say you have someone who has eczema on their, Lisa Grenier had somebody at the Eats and Educate who had eczema on her scalp, and she has been having so much relief from the Super Greens line. So we could put testimonials like that into this Welcome Circle testimonials, and it can just be under Super Greens, right? And then you all can find those really easily. So that's going to be a whole testimonial area. We are changing the name of our ambassadors and up to Soaring Stars. We're going to have a chat. So everybody who's the ambassador and up, and don't worry if you are already in No Compromises, you are grandfathered in. But for our new folks, we want them really, really focused on just getting to ambassador. So anybody who's already in No Compromises, that is going to be changing to Soaring Stars. So we're going to have a Soaring Stars chat. So if you just have like a one-off question where you're like, oh, I don't want to post this, I just want to ask the question as opposed to making a whole post, we're going to have that. Soaring Stars asset, it's going to again be like that welcome circle testimonial area where there's cards, and you're going to be able to go in and find things really easily because it's going to be cards instead of the posts that you have to scroll through and find. It'll just be a lot easier to see the organization of it. Sword of Success is for up to ambassador. So when somebody signs on, that's where they're going to be. They're going to be in Sword of Success. So one of the systems we're going to we started focusing on was launching to ambassador. So Eric believes that this is actually just a truth. Every compensation plan in our profession has a building block rank to it. Our building block rank is ambassador. So it's called a core rank in our profession. Our core rank is ambassador. So you have a launch to ambassador program. So we're going to have different things just for people up to ambassador. We're going to keep them really focused. One of the tenets of a system is that you kill all distractions. We don't want them distracted with other things. We just want them focused on getting to ambassador, right?
Beth,
Yes.
you said Eric. I'm not sure if everybody here knows who you're referring
Oh,
to.
I already talked about Eric earlier. You must have missed that. My boyfriend Eric, he wrote GoPro. Everybody should read GoPro. So yeah, Eric Worre is like, he's called the godfather of network marketing. He's amazing. So yeah, so if you missed me talking about Eric earlier, that's what I'm talking about. So launch to ambassador. We used to have a social media playbook group where we kind of just had posts in it. We're going to talk about all types of communication. So creating action with communication. So it may not be social media, it may be texting people. This may be how you follow up with your customers, right? So it's creating action with communication. So that's sort of our communication stuff. Social Club, please, 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 if you post something about your life on Facebook, come and post it in Social Club. That's our area to be social with each other. We love everybody. We love the entire team. We want to know what's going on with you. We want to know what's going on with your life. If you're posting it on social media to your friends and your family, come and post it in Social Club. And the reason for that is you actually don't want to be following other consultants and constantly commenting on other consultants' social media. You want to be following them so you can see what they're doing. But you don't want to be constantly commenting on each other's social media, because what happens is Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they'll all go, oh, these two people really want to talk to each other. They want to be connected with each other. So we'll make sure they see all of each other's stuff, but that excludes you from seeing other people's stuff. And here's the deal. You're not selling to team members, right? You're not selling to other consultants. You're selling to the rest of the world. You don't want your team members to be the only ones seeing your social media posts. So we want a place off of social media in Circle where we can all talk to each other and be friends and build community. So that's really important. So that's where you want to be posting all that stuff. So please, 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 if you post something that you want to share with everybody, post it in Social Club. The other one that you might not be able to see here, next week, please make sure you're on the team meeting. We are going to be talking about personality dimensions. Who here, can anybody come off mute and talk about taking the personality dimensions test and how it's helped them sort of identify people in their business? I know a few of you have taken it.
I don't know if I can just post how it personified me, not necessarily people in my business. Does that help?
Sure.
Okay, so I definitely, well, I went on and I was definitely interested in meeting with Jody and getting my personality color. Wasn't sure what it was going to be, although Beth already knew, which was funny. But I just basically met with Jody. There were a couple people on at the same time. We had a questionnaire we had to fill out, and she was like, don't get bogged down on the answers to the questions, like take a look at the question and just answer it. And she gave you a little bit of time to do it. And then at the end, what she did was she came back on and talked about the type of person you are and how you basically look at things and relate to things. And Beth was very interested in how in our colors, because it gave her some insight into how we were going to react and play a part in her team, basically. And it's kind of funny because Beth, it came out that I was a gold, and Beth was like, I knew you'd be a gold. And a gold is somebody that's super organized, and for me, I'm organized up here, not necessarily at my desk or anywhere else, but I do have certain ways that I like things organized, and they need to be in a certain order and different things like that. I'm definitely a procedural person. I teach kindergarten, and I like to introduce skills to my students in a procedural manner, which means I take them at the lowest step and I build them up. And I tend to do the same things in my business. And when I'm talking to parents or team members, or when I'm doing trainings, I do it the same way. And she's like, because you're a gold, you're a note taker. I use bullets. When I take notes, I like things in a certain way. When I'm typing, I am that format person, the little word person. And so it's good to know, coming from that way, how you present things and how you learn things. And it's good for your teammates to know, because your relationships are based on the way that your colors are. So I think that's what Beth wanted me to kind of share. And so when we get together, there is somebody in the team, we totally look at things differently. We totally relate to things differently. And your teammates are going to be that way. Your customers are going to be that way. The people you relate to are going to be that way. And if you come at things in a manner that you know about people's colors and their personalities and the way they look at things, relate to things, respond to things, it makes it more acceptable for you to engage with them.
And
Does that
even
help?
how they talk, right? Like that's a big part of it too. So when you're inviting to things, if you can figure out what color you're inviting, that invitation is going to look different because you're going to invite to that color type. Judy, I see you have your hand raised, so I'm gonna go ahead and call on you.
Well, it helped me with the business opportunity, because as soon as I recognized the color I was dealing with, then I knew I had to get somebody that knew that color, like Beth. You know, when it came to the green, I don't know how to handle a green. So, you know, so yeah, so it really helps with offering the business opportunity, because everybody looks at it differently. So
Yeah,
that's what I wanted
for
to
sure.
say.
Yeah.
And I have to
Michelle.
say, I can't wait until my team does them. But I do feel like Sue, who's one of the Samsung, hi, Sue. I believe because she likes to have a lot of fun, but yet she wants things structured. And, so I think she's gold and orange. And I don't know how, so I want to know how it all comes out with them so I can relate to them better also.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really helpful when you're working with your team. And I can tell you in Leaders in Action, I love that we have Kim, who's a gold, we have Megan, who's an orange, I'm a high orange. And we have Gina, who's a green, and then Jen and Michelle are both blues. We have a mix of all the colors. And so we sort of know that that's part of how we come at our approach for things is through those different personality types. And nobody is one color solidly. Like everybody is the expression is everybody's plaid, right? So everybody is all of the colors. It's just what are your brightest colors and what are your dimmest colors. And so for me, I'm a high orange. Orange is like at the forefront. But some other people, like Michelle, is blue, but then her secondary colors are all almost equal. So it's really interesting to see how different people's colors are. But this can really help you in inviting when you're inviting to something because like if somebody were inviting me to something, I would not like oranges are about the fun. Like I want to know it's going to be fun. But if I were talking to a blue, what I want to say to a blue is, oh my gosh, there's all these amazing people I want to introduce you to. You're going to, there's this one person that I think you would get along with so well. Like it's all about the relationships. If it were a gold, like Kim, I would say, this is what time it starts. This is how long it's going to take. There's going to be an agenda. We're going to have it all laid out really well. If I were talking to a green, they'd want me to get to the point and they'd want to know how it's going to work and they'd want to know that they're going to get something out of it. So it really is, it's important to know like who you're talking to and what they want. So somebody asked how you get your color. We're actually having Jody come to our team meeting next week. So I definitely recommend you come and listen to Jody. She can do an assessment for you. I think it's like $75 to get the assessment done. So if you want to sign up to get that done, or you can just come and listen to the training, you'll know by the end what color you are, quite frankly. Like I knew, well, it's funny. I can tell you the question that I asked to determine what color somebody is. I'm starting sort of getting to the point where I can tell just from interacting with people. But if you really want your color analysis done and want to learn a little bit more about this, I definitely go and work with Jody. But one of the things that you can ask people is tell me about your dream car. And you can tell from somebody's answer what color they are. So if somebody says, my answer is, it has to be fast and it has to be pretty. Like I don't care how many cylinders it has. I don't care, like it has to be fast and it has to be pretty. That's my ideal car. If you're talking to a blue, they're going to tell you, like Rose Emily Felice is on our team. I said, Rose Emily, what's your like describe your ideal car to me? She goes, oh, it would have to be big enough to fit my whole family. That is a blue answer all the way. Like if you ask a blue, they're going to be like, well, I need to make sure I can fit all my stuff in it because we have to go to our family's house for the holidays and we want to make sure the presents all fit. And like, that is such a blue answer. A gold is going to tell you that it has to be very reliable. A green is going to tell you they're going to start talking about features. It needs to have a steering wheel heater. It needs to have a seat heater. It needs to have a USB port so that you can plug your phone in and listen to your book on tape. They're going to start talking features. So, yep. So Jen is a blue. So yeah, that's kind of, if you're talking to somebody and you want to know what color they are, or if you're thinking about yourself and you want to know what color you are, that's my favorite question. All right, so we're going to move on, but I'm going to start adding people into these different spaces. So if you were looking at Circle and wondering what is going on, this is crazy. There's all these new spaces. We are getting rid of Social Media Playbook and Onboarding and Launch. I will be redoing the videos because they're pretty outdated, but they will be housed in the cards that I talked about in the assets for the Soar to Success and Soaring Stars. So if you're looking for the videos, they're getting redone. And so we're gonna remove everybody from those groups. So you might also be interested to know that there's two calendars now. So there's a Soar to Success calendar, and then there's a Soaring Stars calendar. Soar to Success is up to ambassadors. So we will have onboarding calls every Monday night at 7 Eastern. And then we will have one at 8. So if you have done call number 1, you can come the next week to call number 2. Call number 1 is not just for consultants. Call number 1, if you have somebody who's like, I am ready to sign on, and they've booked a launch with you, but they're not quite signed on yet, that's an ideal call for them. I would encourage everybody to hop on and just be on those calls so you know what's happening on them. Typically we're going to have Soar to Success Q&A on Wednesdays. However, we are doing our Mass Eats and Educate on Wednesday night. So I moved it to Tuesday. Just be aware that that's changed. Also our open coaching has changed from Wednesday to Tuesday as well. Going forward, if you are not at ambassador or higher yet, Soar to Success Q&A is your coaching. Open coaching is for ambassadors and up. Because we're really focused on just getting you to ambassador. All of the other things are the same, except skills training will only be for ambassadors and up. If you are not an ambassador yet, you don't need skills training. You just need to do the things to get you to ambassador. So we'll be focusing on really laser focus, getting you to ambassador, and then ambassador and up will be the regular calendar. All right. Now I'm going to hand it over. I'm ready to stop talking. So I'm going to hand it over to Gina. And she can go ahead and share this portion.
Thanks, Beth. Hi, everyone. So this is the part of the meeting where we go over, we either go over our book, our conference, or some products. So this week is product week. And the two products we're going to talk about in breakout groups today, I assume we're big enough for breakout groups, is Sugar Scrub and Body Butter. And so what we normally do is we'll take each product and we'll say the different things we use for the different testimonials we've gotten on, what we love about it, and share with each other. And then we all come back together and share that. So I don't know if I can do breakouts. Oh, here, I can do breakouts.
I've got it ready for you. Do you want me
Okay,
to
go ahead then.
So we have room 1 is going to talk about Sugar Scrub. Room 2 is going to talk about Body Butter. And then how long would you like the breakouts to be, Gina?
What do we usually do? Like 7, 8 minutes?
7 minutes.
7 minutes,
Yep.
yeah.
All right, let me just. All right. Whoops. Okay, here we go.
Oh.
The master has joined us. Jess, do you have any?
I'm spying on you.
Oh, and she's not even showing us her face. Oh boy. Okay, so we have two things. Has anyone else used or heard of a testimonial on the sugar scrub? Let me
I
pull up.
use the sugar scrubs. I use it on my feet a lot in the summertime because your feet are so, like, I'm on my feet all the time, so they need that extra care. So I use that for like exfoliating my feet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
perfect. I'm just gonna quickly see if I can-
Shaving. Did you guys talk shaving yet?
No, we have not.
A lot of people use it to shave with, and
Really?
especially, yep. Because it helps to take like that dead layer of skin off so you don't get bumpies when you're shaving your legs and bikini line, and yeah.
I guess it would work for faces too if the men wanted
Yeah.
to use it.
I would think they won't get stuck in the razor, the little sugar things. No? I'll have to
I've
try
only
that.
used it on my feet. It's about, I think I only used that on my feet at a spa day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's great for little foot soaks and stuff after a foot soak. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I am trying to find
Elbows.
right. Lips.
And what do you actually use for shaving after you use that sugar scrub? Do you have a product for that?
Well, this is for legs primarily,
I
not
see.
for your face. It would be too harsh on your face. I don't think you'd want to use it for that,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, men could probably use it on their hands. So they get like the tough skin.
I have very soft hands. I worked as a pig. I touched the Vita Royal for 40 years. It's like baby oil, but it has no fragrance and no scent. Mineral oil.
Mineral oil is not something you want to be using.
Yeah, I don't use it anymore, but I was in that industry where I was always touching it.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go over and check on the other group.
All right. I
which is another benefit. And it's not just for your hands though, it's for everything. But Judy, you were gonna say something too?
Well, it says, I use it on my feet, like the heels of my feet sometimes, especially in the winter. But it does say that the hydrating power surpasses hyaluronic acid completely, that inulin. So that's why I think it seeps in, but it also makes a coating, like a natural coating on your skin. And I think, and it's really good for crepey skin. Those two, when I saw these two products, I said, those are the two magic products for crepey skin. I tell everybody first.
Body butter and what's the other one?
And the lemon sugar scrub.
Oh, the scrub.
That's really good. You use that, and then you put the body butter on,
Yeah.
and there's a good chance you won't have crepey skin. Yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else?
And it lasts a long time.
It
Yeah,
does.
that's
It
true.
does,
5.3
need a lot.
ounces,
but
so
it
Quite a
lasts.
lot.
it
yeah.
does. You don't need a lot.
No.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really impresses customers when they try it, because you give them like a little sample, and it's like, oh my God, I can, like, they have, it's like, this is like, it's going all over them.
Yeah. So we have hands, feet, legs, body.
All right, Gina, you gonna take us, you gonna ask everyone to take us through what they came up with?
Sure. Okay, let's start with room one. Who wants to share what you came up with for the sugar scrub?
So I'm just taking the lead, guys. Sorry. If anyone wants to talk, just put your hand up. So we talked about, this is very good to know. So it is getting to be the holiday season. And if you like to use live trees, for your decoration, it helps with getting that sap off of your hands.
Oh,
Right. So I used it numerous times for stretch marks, in addition to the next product we're going to talk about. So it works great for stretch marks, believe it or not. Foot care, exfoliating your feet. I have in the past even brought it with me for pedicures. So, you know, you want to use it for that. I know Judy said them because she loves her pedicure, her foot soaks. Yeah. So even after you do your foot soak, rub with the sugar scrubs. It's great for exfoliating, and then even to shave with. So great options there.
Excellent. Okay, and so room two had body butter. And Kim, do you want to share what we talked
Sure.
about?
Sure. So we started with the fact that it is thick and creamy. But I did mention when I saw it in the little jar, for some reason, for me, I thought it was going to be almost thin and liquidy. But it's not. It actually is very thick, almost like the Dream Cream, not quite as thick. It's great as an aftershave. We also said it's great for a night treatment when you're hydrating your skin. It has pre and probiotics in it. It's super hydrating. We talked about how it's a great coating for your skin. It's great for crepey skin. It lasts for a very long time that you only need a small amount. So-and-so is supposed to be in bed right now. And then Judy also mentioned that her grandson loves it. He loves to use it on his arms and all over his body for dry skin. So we did mention the fact that we don't hear about it a lot. So I can actually say that for me, it's usually like one of those bonus products when I'm talking about using multiple products at the same time. It's something that I'll say, you can use this, and the body butter. So it may be something that we want to focus on more. So this was a great, definitely a great side by side for us to share it with. And I love the fact that Jen said that she uses it alongside, like when she said her stretch marks, she uses it, the sugar scrub, alongside the body butter. So maybe this is something we need to focus more in on.
It's a very nice gift too, or like the two together are a nice gift package.
Hi, Asher.
Hi, Asher.
Hello. Okay, thank you, everyone.
All right. Let's move on to our next item. Qualities of a leader. Who's doing qualities of a leader this time?
I can do it because she's got you want to do you
All
got
right.
some- yeah.
Okay.
Wait, or you do it. Okay.
So Jen and I talked about, we have not talked about problem solving in a while. And one of the things we wanted to do was utilize what we have going on in Circle already to problem solve. So I did focus on, like, I literally made a list of things that we could talk about. And I'm like, we don't need to target all of them tonight. But my first one was social media. And one of the things people might be talking about is, what do I do on social media? What do I post? What do I share? And where do I get help or support from that? So to problem solve your issues with social media, I'm going to say to you, one of the first things that you can do is take a look at the calendar, and we have power hours that are specifically geared towards social media. And we will be coming up with the calendar posts, which Beth was going through all the different things that we have going on. And one of the things that will be there as a support for you is the social media posts, which are issued as a calendar. I know they're there because that was it's my little pet project that I will be working on. It is listed as a work in progress. Those posts will be there for you monthly, daily, within the month. They're not something specific that you are going to lock into. They're not a mandatory have to post things, but they're just suggestions and ideas. So those two things right there are going to solve your social media issues. So definitely look into the calendar for when we're offering the Power Hour social media posts. If you're not sure what that is, if you see Power Hour social media, it means you're going to come on. It is a work hour for you where you are targeting what to do for your social media. And it gives you the time to check in, first of all, with people on what they're working on. So obviously there will be suggestions for you there. And then you have 40 minutes to actually target your work. And then you come back in at the end for the last 10 minutes and talk about what you were able to accomplish, what you got done. If there are any issues that you had at the end, you can definitely talk about those with the people that are on. So Power Hours definitely. And then within Circle, thank you, Beth. She has there, it says social media calendar ideas. And if you open that up, it is literally a spreadsheet and there's one for every single month. Woo. And if you're looking at it, it goes day by day. You don't necessarily have to click into the day, but what I've done is target national days. So for every day of the month, there is, I have themes. So like Monday, Mindset Monday, maybe you're going to post something positive for that day. If there's a national day, so looking at that, the July 1st, obviously it's New Year's Day is the holiday. It's also the first of the month, so there'll be new product ideas there. I obviously don't know what they're going.
January 8th is clearly Kim's national holiday.
What is that? Oh yeah, my bubble bath day. Yes, I love bubble baths. So we're going to look, and there are some things that I would normally share that maybe you wouldn't. So there are other ideas there. So any Monday is a Mindset Monday. You can post something positive. The first of the month is every month is when Pure Haven is going to share with you whatever their new products are. So there's always something that you can share. Sometimes it might be a product. Sometimes it might be a health and wellness idea. Sometimes it might be a holiday. So I will be compiling all those and sharing those in there. So at any given day, you can go in there. There's actually for every week, there's a national week target. So maybe on January 3rd, there might not be something for the day, but you can look at, oh, the week that encompasses January 3rd. The first week is the Celebration of Life Week or a focus on gratitude. And you don't necessarily have to say this week is, but it gives you an idea of something to post so that you have something you want to be able to share. And the whole point of this is to create engagement. You want people looking to you that you're sharing not only, it might just be something fun. Saturday, I usually post like a silly Saturday, and it's basically my husband's very big on dad jokes. And we have a family group and he shares jokes that my daughter is like, I can't believe you even shared that. But you're going to have people that are like following you because they like your jokes or they think they're funny or they're just looking for something to make them laugh. That's one thing. Or maybe you're sharing information like a health topic. You're going to find people come to you and say, listen, I'm looking for information on this. If you are constantly sharing information, that healthy information, posts about health, information on recalls, you're going to now be the person they run to that says, do you know anything about this? And maybe you do, or maybe you don't. So for me, I always tell people, if I know it, I will absolutely share it with you. And if I don't know it, I will look into it for you. So you are their go-to person. And in those lines, when you're sharing your information on Pure Haven, you're sharing it because you are their go-to health person. So you're the person they trust when they're looking for something healthy, which is what you want to be, because you know that what you're sharing is healthy, non-toxic, guaranteed, and not the person that's just trying to sell them something.
Awesome. So not only did Kim share a little bit about leadership, but also I think you guys got a good glimpse of some of the behind the scenes stuff we're working on for you guys for Circle. So we're trying to make that a more valuable tool for you. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again, and we're going to talk about, oh, it's that time. Who read the book this week? Chapter 7. Michelle?
I listened to it on I listened to
Awesome.
it on audiobooks.
Great.
This was such a great chapter. It really
Mhm.
was. It started out talking about how 15 to 20% of the Vietnam, the men in Vietnam became heroin addicts. But when they came home, only 5% re-addicted within a year, and 12% re-addicted in 3 years. So 9 out of 10 soldiers who were used heroin in Vietnam eliminated their addiction. And it was addictions, and it said addictions could spontaneously dissolve if there was a radical change in the environment. And that is so important because it's the context of what's going on. And it said, you know, I have like so many things highlighted, but I have a few things starred. So if you've never, let's see, I have never seen someone consistently stick to habits positive habits in a negative environment. And that is so important, because if you're in a negative environment, you're not going to be positive. And a more reliable approach is to cut bad habits off at the source. One of the most practical ways to eliminate a bad habit is to reduce exposure to the cue that causes it. And in my biblical counseling, there's 5 triggers of temptation. And it's like people, place, things, time, and I forget the other one. But what you need to do is, you know, if you want to watch TV, and that's what they even said, bad habits are autocatalytic. The process feeds itself. They foster the feelings they try to numb. You feel bad, so you eat junk food. Because you eat junk food, you feel bad. Watching television makes you feel sluggish, so you watch more television because you don't have the energy to do anything else. And it's so true. So they said, remove it. Remove, you know, take the TV out of the room. Remove all, you know, junk food. It was such a great chapter. I could go on and on, but I'm sure other people have things to say.
Louis, you have your hand raised.
Hi, my name is Louis, and one of the things I changed, a habit that I changed, was overeating, and especially eliminating the foods that was causing my obesity. And the best thing that could have happened to me was that I got fired from my family's business, as it was a bakery. And that environment that I left was totally a blessing, because it saved my life, so to speak. I dropped a lot of weight, and believe me, I segue some work into coin business, but mind you, that was the best thing that could have happened to me. Really, I didn't belong there to begin with. I was underemployed. My brother didn't, really utilize my qualifications. So it worked out for the best, and it was a total blessing. And also I go to support groups for that problem too, which is very helpful. So I sort of like need that support network where people are working towards that goal as well. And I go to those groups as well, and many of them are on Zoom today. So if anybody has any question, I will not discuss the name of the group, but if you want to know, I will tell you personally.
Did anybody else have a chance to read this chapter and any takeaways on it? I sort of had similar to Michelle. First of all, I thought it was interesting. The study was actually done by, when they talked about that study, it was a Connecticut congressman from 1971, which was the year I was born in Connecticut. So I was reading this to my father-in-law. I was at the nursing home today, and usually I read him Sherlock Holmes, but today I read him Atomic Habits. So I thought it was funny because he was a Vietnam vet and was in Connecticut, lived in Connecticut at the time. So I was like, oh my goodness, listen to this. So that was kind of cool. But I love at the end of this book, at the end of this chapter, they had some charts. So for those of you who are reading on Audible or audiobook, one of the things that I read lots of audiobooks, and so I've read this on audio before, but it has charts, and I'm such a visual person, so which is an orange thing, by the way, just FYI. It has how to create a good habit is the first law. But then how to break a bad habit has the inversion of the first law. So the first law is make it obvious. The inversion of that is make it invisible. And then the inversion of the second law, how to create a good habit, is make it attractive. The inversion of the second law is make it unattractive. The third law is make it easy. The third inversion is make it difficult. The fourth law is make it satisfying. The inversion is make it unsatisfying. So he talks a little bit about like, if you're wasting too much time watching television, take the TV out of the bedroom, right? Like, or take your TV and put it. I actually have a friend who put her TV in the closet. So it was a chore. Like, she actually had to take the TV out of the closet and set it up if she wanted to watch TV. I mean, you're going to watch a lot less TV if you do that, right? Because it's a pain in the neck to take it out of the closet. So figure out what you can do to make it easy. So one of the things you can do to make it easy to work your business is to utilize the team calendar and check circle every day, right? Surround yourself with people who are supportive of your business. One of the biggest things that people have issues with in our business is negativity of the people are surrounding them. And so surround yourself with with your team, who will support you and cheer you on in your business. Whereas you'll have these people, sometimes spouses, sometimes family members, sometimes friends, who are like, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. Why are you doing that? Well, yeah, your Aunt Sally, who has zero experience in network marketing, or maybe she was an Amway consultant 30 years ago, and she wasn't very good at it, is giving you advice. Why are you taking advice from Aunt Sally, who was a failure at Amway 30 years ago? That's not who you should be taking advice from. So, use our calendar, use Circle, surround yourself with people who are supportive and who are going to help you with your good habits and make the bad habits unattractive. If one of your problems is scrolling through social media, set a time limit. Don't let yourself scroll. Don't tell yourself, "Oh, I'm researching," right? It doesn't take that long to research. If you are working on social media, and you're creating saying, "Oh, this is my time to engage on social media," set a timer. And then create more than you consume, right? So make it, use all of those rules for for uh for getting rid of your bad habits and creating new good ones. All right. Anything else that anybody needs to go over? I'm going to stop our recording.